Hello ladies and gentlemen, in this video we're going to take a look at Dance of the Flowers, or sometimes also called the Waltz of the Flowers by Tchaikovsky from the Nutcracker. And first we're going to play along. Here's what we're going to do. First we're going to play along with the orchestra, then we're going to play by ourselves. There'll be a couple little variations of linking the passages together, because when we play with the orchestra we can allow them to link the passages together. Then we're going to examine the notation got going on right there. And then we're going to talk about there's plenty of chances to customize these different kind of parts. So the version I chose is the pink flower version. And without further ado, let's get going. So you all know this one. Oops. And that's good enough now for playing with the orchestra. There are some nice parts of the orchestra that we'll talk about in a minute, some other parts. That's kind of the ending crescendo, but that central passage, the melody of the piece, happens over and over throughout the approximate 7-minute song. So let's go ahead and do this song by ourselves. Notice I kind of paused and let the orchestra play, because when you're part of an orchestra, most of the time you're not always playing, right? You're allowing other pieces to shine, and you're waiting for your part for when it's your turn to shine. That's the role of the conductor, to make sure everybody shines in their perfect part, right? So here we go. There's a couple little, this little section here and this little section here are the two sections that I added to link the passages together. So here we go. Alright, gave it a few extra times there. That's my customized extended ending. So, mainly because I thought that was the proper ending until I listened to it and figured out that they only did it twice like before. So let's take a look at some of what's going on here, right? And here is, the first passage is done 3 times, and then there's the fourth passage, the fourth part that kind of goes... And then it goes back into, right? And again, just these little D, F, G parts are kind of melodically linking the passages together. Whereas when you play along with the orchestra, right, you can play by yourself. So here's a couple interesting little notations here. There's some early horns that are kind of beautiful that follow the same kind of melody. But except instead of, which is like the crescendo at the end, these early horns are like in the background, fading kind of beautifully, and they're low-pitched horns. So we're going to go down here on the lowest side, the lowest pitch of our xylophone, of course, and we can do this. Right, so for the fading horns, stick down here to the lowest pitch to match the lowest pitch of the horns. And you can play along with those fading horns before the da-na-na-na-na-na-na, right? That's the main part of the melody. but again, a different pitch sequence sort of mimicking that melody. And then early on, there's also some beautiful, sorry, my phone keeps slipping here. It's a little dicey. Early on, there's some beautiful harp strings that are going from a higher pitch to a lower pitch. So when you're playing the harps, they're doing the beautiful right with their fingers, right, on all those harp strings. But we can mimic that, right, by doing a nice, graceful, light sort of swiping across the keys. Again, from a higher pitch to a lower pitch, and backwards in different sort of settings, right? But we can mimic that on our xylophone. And then on the flute, that's down here, right? Those are strings in the orchestra, and then it goes, right? There's a couple different parts you can try and customize yourself. So you may go like this. Oops. Right? Skip a little bit, or that's a little too high for my ears, but maybe you enjoy that better, right? Everybody has their sort of personal preferences. So you can go, which is kind of close to the normal flute, or a gap, or higher pitch, or even, oh, well, that would kind of be backwards, right? There's a little bit of action in there. And then the crescendo ending, I sort of extended my crescendo ending, so it's, right, and then at the end, but in the midst of that, you can add a couple more if you wish. And I kind of like to do it this way. This is what I've figured out so far. Well, when I was doing it last night, it was a lot better than that. But you can see by adding coming up to the fourth time, you can add a little bit more keys if you wish. So there we are. Dance of the Flowers by Tchaikovsky. Waltz of the Flowers by Tchaikovsky, the Nutcracker Suite. And please look out for our other video. We have Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy from the Nutcracker Suite as well, back in our video archives. So check that out, and have a good time dancing with the flowers. Bye-bye.